Proposal, the podcast where two friends make a hypothetical tabletop game one misstep at a time. As always, I'm your Game Master Kyle, joined of course by our very own Critical Failure.
Hello, it's Will. I'm still. He's still got me here. I'm still trapped.
I'm not letting him go. He's not
I'm
letting him go. Oh my
taped to
god.
this radiator.
This... no. No, I don't want to start off with that. Tell them about
Sorry.
the radiator.
Anyway, how are you
It's
then?
some horrible stories. I'm doing okay.
What have you been up to?
I've been trying to hunt down more impossible RPGs to find because they're sold out everywhere. I bought one and I decided instead of even getting a chance to run that one, I'm gonna try and find more to buy. How about you?
Right. I've been reading through the Die book again. I know I ain't gonna shut up about it, but I
You
love
don't
it.
even reference like playing it. I want to play that so badly. You just say when.
Yeah, I need to figure it out just because of how fucking
It
complex it is.
seems
I want to figure out
complex.
what I want to reference within it. Um,
Oh, okay.
because obviously it references media, and the thing is, like, what media do we all have in common
Yeah.
that isn't board games? Because our friend group is it's games and board games.
Yeah, we bonded through board games and TTRPGs in university. So it's kind of there's other overlap. I mean, that wasn't
Yes,
the main part of the course, but yeah. I mean, with games in
yeah,
general, we both have very different like tastes, so it is very tough.
but also like the part of the point of the comic is that the world is so clearly made by its creator for
Okay.
its players, but also so clearly like it's referencing bands he likes and the fact he's into like all of this history stuff. So I feel like that implies mine would have to have a lot of like weird hip hop references and like superhero
I think
references.
I could get some of the hip hop ones. You're
I think it would be like characters are named after members of the Wu Tang Clan or
I could
something,
get that.
where it's like
Muesli Man?
on the nose. Huh?
Muesli Man?
Yeah,
There you go. I don't know how niche the Muesli Man is. How deep does the Wu
I
Tang
think
lore
quite
go?
neat. It goes quite deep, to be fair.
Yeah, is that a deep
I
cut?
found like an original RZA vinyl with an action figure that he
Oh my
designed,
god!
and it was so
How
expensive,
much?
but I wanted it so
How
bad.
much?
I think it was like going for like 300.
Jesus.
I wanted it though,
Oh, how much?
but not that
How much
much.
do we want to date these? Because I don't know if I want to talk about something.
We've started now,
So these fucking cups, right?
right?
Do you know what I'm on about?
No.
The fucking
Oh, this fucking
the
oh
TikTok girly
shit.
Stanley
Yes, yeah,
cups.
TikTok girly cups, Stanley
Yeah,
cups.
just I've seen the Starbucks pink one go for like 400 on eBay.
But it's so slay. It's so Yas and slay.
Do you really need like 8 liters on your wrist at all times?
That kind of goes hard as a sentence.
Really?
8 liters on my wrist. I don't know what it means,
I'm quoting the Wu
but
Tang
it
Clan
sounds
there.
cool.
It's
You can tell I'm a hip hop fan because a fucking sentence that makes no sense, and
the
I'm right
whole
there.
the whole point of them was for like people who are like going to work and like construction sites and stuff. If you like drop it, it'll survive.
Yeah, and also to be environmentally friendly. I've seen people pouring like bottled water into them.
Oh my god. It's so you can't be like, oh, it's environmentally friendly, so I'm gonna buy 50 of them and drive up the demand, so they have to produce more of them, so there's more carbon. They said this was environmentally friendly. Yeah, if you buy one,
Yeah, if you buy one of them
the
and you
reason it
never use
lasts
it,
forever is so you don't have to buy more of them.
it drives me up the wall. Yeah,
But yeah, God, really, really hating on women. That's actually the tagline of this podcast.
stop.
In-
That's the tagline of every podcast.
Encounter proposal, hating on women.
No, but
So,
you don't
Will,
have to.
what did you think of Barbie?
Barbie.
You said you'd
Oh
watch it
man,
between episodes. It's been a week. Wink.
it's been a week of real life. It's not been
Wink.
20 seconds.
Yeah. What do you mean?
I liked the. I didn't like the Ken song.
You didn't like the Ken song? They're not gonna like
No,
it.
I thought it was bad.
I can't believe it won over Peaches.
Peaches was better.
I thought you were about to say bad then. I was about to jump through the internet
I
to
I
attack
I
you.
know better than to diss Jack Black in front of you.
Thank you. Oh, man, I love that man so much.
He's a man of great skill.
Yeah, he's just so like I've always said like I don't think there are many like celebrities that if something bad came out about them, I would be crushed. He's one of them. Like he's
Yeah, I get that. There's a lot, but also there's a lot of celebrities that I like that are like rap artists. So if something bad came out about them, I'd be like, yeah, I
that makes
guess.
sense. That checks out.
I guess some of these men have killed people. I don't know how
MJ
cancelable
did
they are.
what?
You know,
Yeah. It's rough. What are we gonna talk about today?
we were going to talk about PvP was
Yeah.
one of the options,
I'm
but
happy
you
to do
you
it.
had something you wanted to talk about like using different systems.
So okay, so this is a really long one, and I want you to cut me off because I could talk for the full hour about this, and no one wants to hear that. And also, I want to talk about different topics, but I think this is something we've both done, or at least I've done. So with D&D, 5e is very easy to learn. So when you are thinking of games that you'd like to run, is it easier to learn a new system and play a new system that is designed for that type of game, or do you just mod 5th edition? A lot of people mod 5th edition, and I think there is an argument for both. As someone who is a big advocate of playing other board games, I think I get why people mod 5th edition, because sometimes if you're like, oh, I want to play a Cyberpunk game, and then you start reading like, not Cyberpunk Red, although I still can't make sense of that fucking system. If you start reading like any like dice heavy gritty future game, it's like just you have to read through these weird comics to understand rulings, and like reading through scenarios to understand how certain things happen, instead of it just being like header death saving throws and then a sentence about death saving throws. It's like Joey the Glorp Wormer was juiced out in the cyber alley, and of course when this happened he had to roll 3d8, and so clenched in his bio fist, and it's just like I don't. This is an actual thing I've had.
Yeah,
There
I
are
can kind of relate to that. I think that if you want to play one game in the system,
Mhm.
you could mod D&D for it. If you want to do a campaign, maybe look at the official source material, if there
Okay.
is some. Like the Marvel one that I want to do. I want to do it in their system because of how like it lets you physically do the powers. Like
Yeah.
it's built for it. And some stuff will be built for it.
It's tough. It's really tough because I think like I've played sci-fi games that are 5th edition modded, and it worked. It worked absolutely fine, but that was before I'd ever read anything else. And so now I'm like looking at weird sort of like little systems. Like there's a system called Death in Space, and the idea of the system is that you are like space truckers, and you all own this big salvage ship, and your crew's whole like job is to sort of like deal with a kind of power imbalance in like a gritty future, and try and like salvage and steal to get back sort of what you're owed from the universe, whilst kind of dealing with like cosmic horror. And it's very, yeah, it's very interesting to me how like other
What was
systems.
what was that system you were telling me about the other day? Like the Fura one.
Oh my god, eat the Reich. Okay, so
Yeah.
so this so there's this system called Eat the Reich, and the idea is that okay, the characters are pre-generated, which is kind of weird, but in an alternate history Paris, you play as vampires. Nazis have won the war and they have taken over Paris. Like this alternate history, Paris has like huge like Cerberus and all these like demons and stuff. And so your job as this little gang of vampires is to kill your way up the Nazi leaders to drink all of Hitler's blood. That's the whole goal of the game. So you have to kill
Which
all
is so
the
sick.
Nazi high command. It's so like metal. It sounds so fun. I think it's coming out this year, and like, I think you could do that in D&D, but like,
But like the fucking
I
there's
want
a
to.
thing for it.
Yeah, they deserve money for coming up with that amazing
Yeah.
system. Like, how do you even? Oh, I love it. Yeah, yeah. I heard about that the other day. I think that was on like a big list of like up and coming systems in 2024, and so that's one I'm really keeping my eye on because that's so fun. That's like, yeah, it's great. I kind of wish it had character creation, but again, it was like a test thing, so it's sort of mentioning that it's coming out this year. So like the person talking about it also hadn't read the rules, so you don't know.
It might get like
Character
make your own
creation.
characters outside of like its demo essentially.
Let me have a look. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, I found its Kickstarter. Rowan Rook and the Deckard is the designers for it, I believe. So it raised £327,000.
Fucking hell.
Holy shit! You would like the art. I'm gonna put the art up on screen. I don't think we ever say this. Obviously, the art isn't ours. We're just showing it. But
Yeah, no, you can tell when it's out.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
fucking
How
Christ.
cool is that?
That's awesome.
And so there's like a some of the different rewards you get, like cloth patches, pin-up postcards, print friendly character sheets, and just like it's so I love the idea of it. I love the idea of the system just being like there's a bunch of characters you can play. You have to just storm through Paris and just eat your way up the high command until you finally. It's just amazing. It's just
If there's anyone you don't have to feel bad about,
yeah.
killing horribly.
Because I found a channel the other day talking about D&D and about how like they had some very strong, very bad opinions. I didn't think grognards were still around, but they are. I don't know if we really have time to get into what that is. Do you know what that is, Theodore Grognards?
No,
Okay.
no.
So I'll get into it later. But basically, this group was on about how they basically were saying like, oh, if you put safety rules in your game, people are going to abuse them, and they're actually these people who want safety rules in the game are actually just trying to control your system. And it's like, no.
Oh,
No,
fuck off.
some people just get really invested, and when you're like, if you want to play Vampire the Masquerade, you have to sexually assault people because that's the whole point of vampires. You're a freak. You
A
just
weird person.
know. Like,
Hey, you can change allegories.
exactly. Like, vampires have become such a staple of, like, the gothic culture and aesthetic that that is so far removed from the urban legend that was, like that
Yeah.
allegory. And so like And people enjoy that. Like, vampires are fun. That is not fun. Like, no one should be like, all right, your table thinks it's really cool to play that. All right, you're freaks. Sorry, if you think that's an okay thing to, like, play out as a character, that's not okay.
Yeah,
I'm interested
I'm
in
with you
yours.
fully.
Okay. You were very quiet.
I no, it's because I have a vampire in my campaign who is an allegory.
But that's the thing is, like, you can do deep
It changed its
storytelling
meaning.
and still have that. What I'm saying is that because these people were on about playing Vampire the Masquerade, the tabletop, which I've
Yes.
never looked into. I don't really have much interest in it. But they were saying, like, oh, if you play that, it's going to be a part of our game. You're playing the vampires, I believe. So you're not on about, like, having a deep story where the villain is someone who does this and is, like, an allegory for this horrible thing that the players can kind of, like, best and get some sort of, like, emotional rest, maybe.
Yeah.
It's that I had to text you about that channel when I found them because they made like a rant about a rule book and I was like, this is a really interesting group, they're really like underground, this is cool. And then I watched another video theirs that was like, safety tools are the devil. I was like, oh, these guys suck. Never mind.
Scratch what I just said.
Oh,
Ignore
ignore
that shit.
everything. Help me complain about this. Yeah, just
Yeah.
so yeah, sorry if you're one of those, which I saw a lot of comments being like, if a game has safety rules, that's a big red flag. If you think that safety rules are bad, go away. That's not
Yeah.
we're not the system for you.
Yeah.
Just-
People should feel comfortable playing the game.
Exactly. That's
And
all it is. Like, arachnophobia is such a common one. Sometimes it's funnier to just have the big red floating word spiders run around.
yes.
That game doesn't need more praise, but it deserves it. So I'll shout out Lethal
Yeah.
Company once more.
Again, welcome to the podcast where we promote things that everyone likes already.
No. Okay, then let's talk more about Eat the Reich. It's just, you want to talk about underground things? I always feel like I don't have many underground things to bring to the table, so it's nice when you remind me of stuff I tell you about off pod.
Yeah, you do. You are good at it. Or like good for it, even.
I'll be like, have you guys heard of D&D? And then like 5 minutes later, as soon as we stop recording, so there's this vampire Nazi killing simulator.
Yeah. What fucking coolest thing I've ever had in my life.
Oh, it sounds so good. I can see me, you, and Soph playing that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd like to play that. There was another
I think
one.
I said I'd have to run it. Wasn't that what we decided?
Yeah.
Yeah, because of like it being like politically too heavy.
Oh, okay. Oh, I don't know. I think I'd play it like, I'd probably play it quite cartoonish. I think it'd be quite
Yeah.
like. But also, I'm watching Man in the High Castle at the moment, so I'm getting a bit more of like a strong sense of how to like more grimly play those kind of characters. But they do
Yeah.
have Cerberus, and they did find Atlantis, I believe, in this system. So
Yeah. I mean, they tried to.
yeah, insane.
They did a lot of crazy shit.
Yeah, like feeding all their soldiers meth so they'd stay awake longer.
Yeah. Yeah, the
So
past
funny.
fucking sucked. Like, across the board.
Horrible, yeah. I'm so worried to keep watching that show because I think it's not going to be good very soon.
I think it'll be fine.
Season 1 was good. I see 4 seasons on Amazon. Oh, okay.
I don't think it's gonna like take the side of the Nazis.
Oh, no, that's true. I think it's just going to be bad storytelling.
Yeah. Which you can cope with. You
Yeah.
sat through my campaign.
No, you're an amazing storyteller. Don't start that shit. Yeah.
It was an easy jab I had to.
Speaking of like games, like running games in D&D or another system, the last thing that I will say on it is that heist games, I don't think D&D is a heist system.
No.
There's Like I've tried to run heists before. I've tried to like Keys from the Golden Vault is a whole thing built on heists, and I've done it, and it's kind of fun, but I don't know why. But for me personally, I feel like you've got to do so much like modding for it to work, because like chases don't really make sense, and so I think if you're gonna play a heist game, Blades in the Dark.
Ooh, I was gonna pitch a different one.
Oh, go on.
You pitch Blades in the Dark while
So
I find more information on the one I was gonna pitch.
the idea is that you're in like a sort of uh Victorian-esque like gaslight city that is completely walled off by lightning, and so no one can get out because this huge wall of lightning that surrounds the city is keeping out ghosts. Inside the city, there are ghosts. So it's not doing a very good job. And so what you do is you, along with your band of rapscallions, you try and run around the city and you try and sort of heist and steal to make your way up the sort of crime food chain. So one of the things that you can do in the game is that you get like a pool of d6s that you roll, and you need a d6 for a success, I believe. But before you do any skill check, you can like scope it out. So if you see the example that I always use is that there's two guards talking and you overhear them talking about money troubles. So you look at them and you take one of your skills that is like a certain number, say it's like 4, so you get 4d6, and it sets like a challenge rating, and I think it's like from low, medium to high, and depending on where the low, medium, and high is how many 6s you need to pass the skill check. And you get like the full scope of the check, like the DM tells you the full skill check that you would need to pass, and then you can decide before you go into it whether or not you want to do it, so you're never like backed into a corner of saying, oh, I want to do this, okay, you have to roll. You can always choose to step away if like the odds are too high, which
That's
I think
smart.
is, yeah, but if you aren't feeling super confident about it but still really want to do it, you can take a thing called a Devil's Bargain, and that adds an extra d6 into your pool, but it creates a complication. So I think 1 is a fail, 2 through 5 are minor success, so success with complication, then 6 is a major success. So the guys over here that these cops are having money trouble, the guy gets like his full check, he rolls, he takes a Devil's Bargain, he gets a 5, he goes over, starts talking to them, and suggests to go to a casino. And when he rolls it, the cops are like, that sounds amazing, lead the way. And so he's like, I can't talk my way out of this. It looks weird if I've just told them to go to a casino and walk away. So this character is now like on a side mission with these two cops who were like guarding this tower they needed to get into, just gambling with them for the night. And I think that's such a like, it's so fun that like I don't think any other game could really facilitate that sort of thing. And so I love it. I love the idea of it.
It does sound really fun. That's a good like. Again, that's why sometimes you can't just mod D&D, because we said that about ours. We didn't want you to be able to just play D&D and achieve the same
the same
like,
result
world.
sort of thing. Yeah, you need like, I think sometimes certain systems just have a feeling to them that can't be matched anywhere else.
Yeah.
What was your pitch
Speaking
for a heist?
of, my pitch one was to play Stealing Stories for the Devil,
Oh,
which is a heist game. I've sent some art in. You play as people from the future who have witnessed an Earth that's riddled with paradoxes. So you go back in time to like do heists.
oh my god!
You heist like objects that are paradoxical, or like fix events that are paradoxical, and you can lie to reality. So
I think you've mentioned this.
yeah, so you could be like, oh, some characters can lie to convince people of things, some can lie to objects. So one I saw was like, oh, I lied to this person, like the events of their life earlier. They forgot to lock the door because they needed to go to the loo. They drank too much water, so they needed to go to the loo. And that's like a medium lie, so you might take damage for it.
Okay.
Like, the lie always works.
Oh, that's so fun.
There was one that was like, oh, this wall doesn't exist. That's a big lie, so you're going to take damage for it. And then the wall just vanishes. So you play as these like supernatural characters as you try and heist these like paradoxical objects. But the big thing that really entices me to it, other than the fact it's got no prep, you write the case together before you do the heist. Like,
Oh my god.
you don't prep. You just do it all day one.
Yeah.
The other thing is that the bad guys are another team of liars.
Oh, okay.
So they can also lie to the world
Hmm.
to change what happens. So you're going against people who are equally reality bending as you are.
That's
So if you want to do a heist one, that's my pitch.
That's so good.
Sci-fi time stealing stories for the devil. Yeah.
Amazing.
I don't know why it's called that.
No?
I could probably find out, but I also don't want to spoil any, because it's like, it's got a campaign, but also, as I said, it's got zero prep, so it mostly doesn't want you to play the campaign.
Oh my god. I have just found out that the people who created Eat the Reich may die.
Yo!
What?
Fucking of course they did. Is Kieran Gillen involved? That might be too hard for you to find.
It's the what was it? What did I say earlier? R&D. The name, I think it's the developers, the people who actually make like the
Right,
rules.
so yeah. Probably not Kieran Gillen, but maybe it's his sense of humor.
Yeah,
That's crazy. Because that
wild
book is fucking
crossover.
beautiful.
Yeah, I'm looking at a bit of it now. It's amazing.
What are the odds? I mean, probably quite high.
Oh, I don't think so.
Die's good. I think read the comic as well.
Yeah.
If you're interested in like board game media and you have like that knowledge in your brain, you'll like the book. It's very niche. The writer specializes in niche stuff. Like, you have to know a lot of English writers and a lot of English history.
I was gonna say, it just,
So good.
I think a lot of it would go over my head.
I think it's intended to as well, though.
Oh, okay.
It helps you not see stuff coming, which is good. It's all
That's
twisty
fair.
and turns. But yeah, I think the general rule of thumb, you can mod D&D if you want. There are good mods out there. You can find other people who have done really good jobs of it.
Yes. I
Like, we're
think
playing
it's-
through a Star Wars one.
Yeah, because as we've previously stated, I don't like to hate on any system, but oh my god, that system is just. I've heard nothing but good things about it.
have attacked again.
Yeah, it's just got so many glaring issues that like I personally wouldn't want to play it. Again, I've heard no complaints from anybody who's played it. So maybe it's just us. Like Dragonbane, as I recently found out, a lot of people really like Dragonbane.
Yeah, it might just be me being a dick about it.
I mean, I doubt it. We've played like at least 2 RPGs, right? Like I've played a couple.
Yeah. But still, I'm probably wrong.
No, I don't. I think you're allowed to fight your corner.
Yeah, I just think it looks like hell.
Yeah.
The leveling up specifically.
I mean,
You do a little quiz at the end of the game to see if you level up or not.
There was
Do you
another
think you
system I
did
looked
well?
at
Do you
recently.
deserve to level up?
There's a
What?
system that did the same thing. I can't remember what it was now, which is great for a podcast. But
Not like when you begged to level up, and then we did.
it worked. No,
It did. You were like, "Please, can we level up?" And
please.
we
Well,
did it to the least experienced DM. It's not fair.
well, in my defense, I've been waiting for that subclass for so long. I multi-classed,
Yeah,
so it took me to level 6 to get my bard subclass.
Yeah, that's on you.
Yeah.
You make a broken character, you have to fucking deal
I
with the
didn't
consequences.
mean for them to. I feel so bad that I've given them like a character with 4+10s.
Yeah, but you did it to me as well.
Did I?
Meepo
No,
is
Rico hasn't got
fucking...
loads of broken skills. He can shoot really well.
Yeah, he can like plus 12 to hit or some shit like that.
I don't know what it is, but it seems like it's just ranged characters. The campaign I just finished, oh my god, he couldn't miss. Could not miss. Like, it was impossible. I think the big bad at the end of the campaign had like a 19 AC, and I think he missed like 2 shots, and they were on like 7s. 7 and below is the only way he could miss. It was
Jesus.
nuts.
Right. Yeah, Pip's pretty strong, which is who is a rogue, ranged character, halfling. So they can just like shoot someone and then just fuck off, and I can't hit them because they're too
Yeah.
small.
I didn't even realize I can do that. I think the only issue
Yeah.
that I'm facing is that I don't have halfling with my rogue bard. Because I think
Yeah.
halfling get like a little bonus.
They can't roll ones.
Yeah, which is tough. So if you play a halfling wild magic sorcerer, do you never like wild surge?
No, because it goes up, doesn't it?
What do you mean?
Like every time you succeed, it
No.
goes up by 1.
I think we made that up because
Oh,
it's the most like figure it out yourself I've seen D&D do. It's so it's like, oh, the DM just decides and calls on it sometimes if they feel like it. I don't know. I don't
what the fuck?
wild magic for a class that is so loved is not very well written in my opinion, because it's so I've had to mod it a few times for it to, because everybody wants it to happen, right? So like,
Yeah,
it's so many things
it's
need to
the
fall
it's
in
the
place.
oh no, don't chase me aha of fucking spell books.
It's very tough to actually get it working, because again, you need so much to like fall into place to have a surge.
But obviously, it's all you want to happen.
Yeah, exactly. So you just can't really win. It's tough. It's really, really tough. What was the thing that you wanted to talk about?
PvP.
PvP.
Thoughts and feelings.
It's tough. It's very tough. I know several systems outright ban it. There are some systems I've read where they're like, you guys shouldn't be arguing. You should have made friends. I think some systems.
I think
should...
arguing's fine, but I
Yeah.
think for R1, I don't think friendly fire should exist.
No,
No,
I like.
I
that.
don't think I don't think it's conducive to the friendly wilderness characters that you're gonna make.
Yeah. So
To
do
be
you
like,
think,
fuck, I just killed my friend. You know?
do you think that we should do like group character building then?
To some extent, yes.
Like, I had to do a session 0 for Tales from the Loop the other day, and the way that one works is that it has you ask certain questions apart and then certain questions together, and some of the
Yeah.
questions that you ask the group together are things like what is something the group is hiding, what are the group not talking about at the moment, who dislikes the group, what secret does the group keep, when did you get to know each other and how, stuff like that. It's just very interesting.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's
I think I think it's a short discussion mostly because it's just like, yeah, I don't want friendly fire.
Yeah, I think it's by group though. Like I think certain groups can really thrive off of like in character arguing. I think certain it really
Yeah,
depends on what media you intake. I find a lot of the time.
maybe friendly fire damage is halved,
Yeah.
so you can't. So it's really hard for you to be like, I'm gonna fucking kill this person because I don't like them today. But
Hmm.
you can accidentally hit someone with a rogue arrow.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, so there's still like a negative for because I guess that's like a critical fumble, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking like, say you had a character who threw explosive vases or something,
Okay, yeah.
and it's like you didn't think the trap you made blew up while you were in it. You take half damage because you're allied to that character.
Hmm.
Because it sucks to kill a friendly character, but it's kind of funny to accidentally wound them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Still punish people for not thinking about it, but also don't make it easy for people to be like, I don't like you today, so.
Yeah, it's very tough. But also, like, I think if you have a good DM, that's never going to be an issue.
Hmm, true. I mean, we've had characters argue in our games and shoot at each other, so
Yeah, it's true.
we'd be hypocrites if we were like, never do it.
I
But
think it really depends on the group because I've been in both again like groups where I've like shot another player for a decision and we've all agreed like it's fine, but yeah, sometimes there is this uh weird kind of issue that you can get where like you just got like one player that's mad. It's like okay, I'm gonna fireball the train. I'm gonna fireball this whole goddamn
yeah,
garage.
it happens.
It happens, yeah, and it's like that particular instance made a lot of sense, but that was a very
Specific.
it was a great group dynamic. It was troubled
It was
through
trouble.
through no one in particular's fault. It just kind of fell apart.
Yeah, it
But yeah,
happens.
no, yeah, exactly. It's sometimes you just gotta talk with your group and see what's best for you. Because I think there is no perfect yes or no game. You can really do whatever you want, and as long as no one's getting harmed. Which I guess goes back on what I was saying earlier about how I thought the vampire thing was very strange. But I also think for you to be like, "Well, you said I can do whatever I want," and then to tote that as being the thing you want, I think it speaks a lot about you.
Yeah, yeah,
But yeah,
I'm with you on that.
gaming tough sometimes.
Gaming hard. Dealing with people hard sometimes.
Yes, yeah.
That's another thing. Like it's not, you're playing with complete strangers sometimes, and we appreciate that that's difficult to build that communication with. But also, don't set your like opinions on D&D on if you've played with complete strangers or like any tabletop, because
Yes.
playing with people is so different.
Yeah, no, that's actually a very, very good point. Just because it it's D&D is such a difficult thing to get into in a time where so many people are getting into it. It's so tough because you've got like you for D&D to work, you need so many people to play it, and so like even just finding two other friends who are willing to again like devote an evening every week to playing this game is tough. So yeah, finding people online can be best, but sometimes there's a reason that people don't have friends willing to play with them, and that's why they're online is because they want to facilitate horrible,
Yeah,
horrible choices.
yeah.
So be careful. Do a
I'm
session
sure
too.
there's some horrible people who have horrible D&D sessions where they just do grim stuff to fictional characters.
Yeah, I'm sure there are groups where that just like that scares me a lot. I mean that
Yeah.
that channel that I've found, I'm pretty stable,
Sid
but
Sid from Toy Story's D&D games.
yeah,
God forbid. Anyway, I think equally this episode we've gained about as much insight on our game as we did last
Yeah,
time.
yeah. I think we've done a pretty decent uh way of going about it. I have another fun one that's kind of like interesting, I guess. I have a question for you.
Oh yeah,
If
yeah.
you were gonna adapt any video game to an RPG, what one would you pick?
Oh God, you first. How though?
Hotline Miami. I don't know, but the aesthetic, the oh, it's amazing. So the way I think I would do it is I would have it be post both games. So it's after both. I think two is a prequel. I never really finished two. That was a very difficult game to follow along. But so the idea of Hotline Miami is that it is a game. I think it's set in the 80s, and you are getting strange phone calls. And when you're getting the strange phone calls, you're being told to go to certain places and kill people. And you don't really question it at first, and the game kind of delves into like, why aren't you questioning it? Do you enjoy doing it? And all this stuff. And it does some very interesting things. And the reason I think it would be good as a role playing game is because I think aesthetically it's very fun to sort of have this character. You would like pick a mask, and that would sort of like hide your character, and sort of have it so that you're in a. I think it would make an interesting dynamic to where you're in a group where you don't really know anybody you're playing with, and so you don't really tell anybody else about your character, but you tell everybody about your mask sort of thing, and yeah, it would be a very like. So the idea is that in the original game, he's taking down steps up in the Russian mafia, and I think it would make for an interesting system where you're like, again, being sent around to kill people, and then take down. It's sort of like upsetting a balance somewhere, and then you get this issue of like you're poking a sleeping bear, and so it lets like the first couple sessions be like, oh, this is really fun, we're getting like paid to do these sort of weird gigs in this like weird group where no one really wants to kind of like mess with each other, and then after a while it'll sort of like ramp up, and you get the sort of kickback of like this is sort of what you've messed with sort of
That
thing.
would be cool.
I think it'd be fun. I think it'd be very
I'm
interesting.
struggling to think of one. I think Metal Gear Solid's obviously got legs.
Yeah, you wouldn't have
No,
said
I
Skyrim. I
don't
really thought that
like
was going to be your
Skyrim.
one. I think
It
Metal
was
Gear Solid could be
drinking
kind
his
of cool.
potion.
I've always imagined that's what Lancer
Yeah,
is
I think you
in a way.
overestimate how much they're in the Metal Gears. In
What in Lancer?
Metal Gear, they spend very little time in the Metal Gears.
No, I know. I've
Alright,
played.
fair.
I've played 5, and I played
I think
3.
weird pitch because I've not played it in ages. Destiny. I think it's got a rich enough
Okay.
world. It's got classes. It's got
Mm-hmm.
enemy races. It's got planets. It's got everything it needs. That would be
Mm-hmm.
fun. But I'm also sure that there's a sci-fi
I think
sci-fi
it's very
tabletop that
fun.
I don't know about. That's basically Destiny. There must be.
Maybe there is. I don't know. But I think it'd be interesting. I still like the idea of it.
I think that's the one I'd go for.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I like that. I think I'd
I
play that.
definitely would.
It seems like it would very much facilitate like dungeon runs
Yes,
in a
yeah, because
more
there are
interesting
dungeons
way.
in Destiny.
Yeah,
It would be a lot of dropping on a planet, doing something, and coming back.
yeah. I mean, apparently that's what Death in Space is like. Is again, you're sort of like you go to like planets scrap and salvage, and then yeah, try and sort of make your way through.
That's
in the
very cool.
future. I want to try it. I really want to try it. But also, I still haven't played half the
same.
RPGs I've got. I've got a big we I was gonna say we've both built up a little bit of a shelf of shame.
Yeah. I've written the Marvel one that I want to run, but also I want to get the book, like the campaign book.
Oh,
I have that. I want to get the campaign book. That's I have the official one. I don't have the stories, and I want one of them's apparently Super Scroll. So yeah,
that'd be fun. How are the updated rules?
You can be like a Green Goblin now. You can be like a Magneto, or all the ones that I was like, it's weird these aren't here, are there now. So like it was weird that there wasn't a Hulk or an Ant-Man or whatever. They're all there now. So
Hulk's a very weird one to not include. He's like one of the original.
Yeah, but he wasn't in the their like beta test. Yeah.
Test set. Yeah. Huh.
But no, yeah. Very cool. Very, very cool game. And you've got Root that you want to play.
I have Root, I have The Witcher, I have the Avatar RPG, I have Tales from the Loop, Things from the Flood, and Kids on Bikes.
My God.
I have not run a single session in any of these.
Lord.
I know. You have a game in Kids on Bikes you want to run.
I do. You'd be scouts in New Hampshire. Yeah.
Oh, I want to play it so bad. Yeah. They're all so interesting, and there's something so exciting about finding new RPGs to play, and then finding the time to actually play them is a whole different beast, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I get you.
Which is why I'm so glad that right now I'm looking at more RPGs to buy.
And on that note, I think we call it for this episode. Well, Carl goes and buys another 52 games for us to play.
Yes, I will. It'll make it so interesting though. We both also own the Fallout RPG, which has body dice. It's the Kama Sutra dice. You love that, don't you? Everyone loves the Fallout Kama Sutra dice that has body parts on it.
What percentage chance would you like to touch? Like the VAT machine.
Genuine, like, I'll read it. Next episode, you guys can hear all about how the Fallout RPG works. If you have enough patience to wait a week and don't have that much interest.
Right. Take care, everyone.
Yeah. Take care. Thank you very much for listening.